BYU basketball associate head coach Tim Lacomb. Tim, nice to have you with us. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing today?
We're feeling fantastic.
Awesome.
We're just talking about we're just trying to throw good mojo towards the court right now for BYU's favor.
I love it. I love that you're within distance of good mojo toward the court. I like that. You know, it's going to be a fun game, great atmosphere. Play, you know, two really good teams, and the cool thing about this situation, two teams that really respect one another, but really get after it on the floor, and so it should be fun.
We want to break down Gonzaga fully here in a moment, but let's recap the win over Santa Clara from Saturday. When did anxiety turn into relief during that game? You
know, if you've been in any tournament situation, I mean, it doesn't matter what level you play at. You know, when I was a high school coach or you know, at any place I've ever been, the first round of a tournament is always so difficult because it's new life. You know, a team that has had quite a bit of success and has earned a lesser number in front of their name, and then a team that comes in there with really nothing to lose. And we felt like we started out that game pretty well, particularly on the defensive end. And then we went through a lull on the offensive end and had a hard time scoring. Turned the ball over a little bit, and they kind of got a little bit of life. But I think that as a whole, the whole group was you know, motivated the fact that we're going to get this thing done, and it was just a matter of making a few plays, and that was what was exciting to all of us as coaches as that thing came down the stretch. I don't think there were anyone on our bench that felt like that game was going to get away from us. We all were going to make the plays and calls and everything that we needed to make to get that thing done. But we went in expecting a difficult game, because anytime a team is playing basically for their season, for their life, you know, it's not gonna go down easy. So we hung with it and played for 40 minutes, and we're really excited about getting that thing done.
Tim, you lean on your seniors a lot late in games, and especially in tournament games. BYU did that with Kyle Collinsworth and Chase Fisher, who had struggled early, but he had 5 critical points late in the game. What did you see from your perspective from Chase and Kyle in the late moments of Saturday's game?
Just a real confidence and a look in their eye. You know, we have so many timeouts, media timeouts and everything, so we get a lot of time to sit and talk with the guys, and just the look in their eye, just the way they responded to, you know, the things that we were talking about, the things that we felt like we were seeing from our vantage point that might be able to work. And I think it was both Kyle and Chase were like, hey, we're going to win this game, you know, looking at all the younger guys, and we're going to make the plays to win this game. And that's what you want out of your seniors. And it wasn't an arrogance, but it was a confidence, and it was something that the rest of the guys fed off of.
Meanwhile, the two freshmen, Nick Emery and Zach Sellius, I thought played really well in their first WCC tournament game. What did you see from them that was pleasing?
Just the fact that they weren't in awe of the moment. I think sometimes young guys go into those situations, and again, we know that we're playing for much more than just that game right now. And the fact that they didn't let the pressure of the moment get to them. Really thought one of the bigger plays of the game was the end of the first half, when we got the ball out of bounds under, ran a play, and found Zach on the weak side, and he buried that 3 to put the lead back to 10 after they had made a run. And both Zach and Nick have made huge shots for us. Felt like they both really have kind of progressed now beyond the fact that they're freshmen anymore. They've played so many games that we really have a ton of confidence in the fact that they can help us win games. And we'll need everyone tonight. But those two guys are, you guys talk about X Factor guys. Those two guys are X Factor guys for us tonight to help us win that game.
BYU Associate Head Coach Tim Lacomb with us on BYU Sports Nation. Follow him on Twitter at @TLacomb. Chase Fisher mentioned to us between games during an interview up here that he kind of banged up his finger in a non-shooting hand. How is he feeling today?
He's feeling good. The one thing I always kind of go by is his attire. And in the last 2 days, I've asked him if to please stop wearing the Bruce Lee hoodie, because he does it at some point think he's some sort of ninja or something like that. And, but I will tell you, anytime I see the Bruce Lee hoodie, I know that he's ready to fight and he's ready to roll. And I think that he'll be fine, particularly with his offhand. It'd be a real concern if it was on his shooting hand. But I know he met with a couple of docs last night after we had our dinner, and he seems to be great. He's still obviously funniest guy on our team and always in good spirits. I think the thing that's going around lately with our guys is they all eat healthy, but they keep their banana peels, and they when someone's inconspicuously not looking, they get whacked upside the head with a used banana peel. And that was going around a little last night. So I got into it. I smacked Kyle with a used banana peel.
Well played.
Collinsworth.
What is this, Mario Kart?
Oh, hey, listen.
Hey, you have to be ready for anything with this group.
Are you throwing red and green turtle shells, too?
No turtle shells yet, just banana peel. Hopefully nobody slips on one. That would be a really bad story.
No, it's no surprise that Chase is wearing a Bruce Lee hoodie because he does refer to himself as a dragon, right? Enter the dragon.
Oh yeah, that's right. And so anyway, that's a long story, but I don't think that we need to worry anything about Chase. Chase is a gamer, and man, he's been so consistent for us, and I want to keep playing forever with this team because I love these kids so much, particularly these seniors that bring so much joy, not only to us on the court as coaches, but off the court.
Okay, tonight, Gonzaga, the rubber match. How do you see this one playing out after 2 fantastic regular season games?
Tim, are you still there?
Sorry, I lost you for a second.
Okay, Tim Lacomb
I thought the question was so good you were thinking about it. How do you?
No, you know me. I don't think a whole lot before I speak.
Rubber match tonight with Gonzaga. How do you see this playing out after 2 fantastic, tightly contested, competitive games?
Well, both games were just that, and really both games came down to last minute. I think that at this time of year, particularly, you have an absolute understanding of the other team. You understand their schemes. You have a very, very tight understanding of their tendencies and their players' strengths. I think it's interesting because we played them so recent that, they'll probably be for them and for us just a few tweaks to the game plan in terms of the offensive end and the defensive end. But when it comes right down to it, it's going to be the team that really gives just a little bit more and wants it just a little bit more. And I think we're both in a situation, Gonzaga probably for the first time, like you guys talked about in 17, 18 years, that they are playing for their NCAA lives. We're playing for our NCAA lives. And so I would expect that it'll be an absolute incredible basketball game with 2 really good teams, 2 really well-coached teams going after it. And, my hope is that, we've got enough dragons on our team that we come out on top.
There have been so many dragon references on the show lately. Tim Lacomb with us, BYU basketball associate head coach. The Cougars take on Gonzaga tonight, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific time here, local time in Las Vegas. It's been 9 days since you played Gonzaga in Provo, so not that much time has passed. Has anything major changed for either team in that short amount of time?
The Gonzaga is interesting because they came down here. The game that they played at our place, and I think sometimes when teams come into Provo, they're a little bit leery about getting into a track meet with us, and so they play just a tad bit slower. But then they were against Portland the other night. They were high octane. Their transition offense they were going hard. They were trying to score early. And so that's one thing that we look at is maybe that the game may be a little bit more up-tempo. The other question mark for them, I think, is their backup center got a little dinged up in that last game, which, they're a little bit without Karnowski, who's out for the season. You know, Ryan Edwards has been a pretty key piece to them, coming off the bench and helping a little bit with Sabonis. So just from a personnel standpoint, those are some of the questions. But as far as schematics and all that, I mean, you're so far into your season, you're not going to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
You're not going to put in an entire new package particularly with a day in between. But what we've seen now is we do have 2 films of their approach to us, and then they have 2 films of our approach to them. So I think that's kind of what you base it on. But for the most part, what it's going to come down to, as always, is we coaches think we're so important. But these kids are the guys that play the games, and they'll be the ones that decide whether we advance or they advance. And hopefully, again, we make enough plays, and hopefully we shoot the ball better. We didn't shoot the ball very well in Provo. We had 16 or 17 more possessions, and typically with our shooting percentage, we would win that game 9 out of 10 times. And hopefully tonight we just shoot the ball a little bit better and still are able to rebound the ball as successful as we did and have a great chance to win the game.
Well, it wasn't a jacket throw from Dave Saturday. It was a slap of the side. So you were on that chair close to that. So just heads up for tonight just in case, okay?
Yeah, I probably need to take some of the blame for that. Sometimes I get him a little stirred up. So if
are you throwing banana peels at him?
If Coach does anything out of character, you can just blame it on me because I'm yipping over there a little bit too, and he may even be frustrated at me at times. Who knows?
We like a little fire. We'll never complain about that, Coach.
I will never be accused of not having passion. Maybe with a lot of other things, but I love this game. I love this team, and I love Coach Rose. And we will do everything within our power, legally to try to get our guys to have success. That's for sure.
Tim, we wish you the best of luck tonight. Always great to talk to you, and we appreciate you taking some time with us on a very important and busy day.
We appreciate all you guys do for all of us, too. Thanks, you guys. Have a great day.